Hey everybody, it's Stalker13R and happy Christmas. We're gonna bring some white Christmas footage here and have a little snow in this opening clip. And we're gonna see Gypsy Boy Brad 16 doing some stunts. And he's got the assist from Troll Danger there, and as you can imagine, we're partnered up with the Train Clan again today. And we're gonna have a little game on however you say this map's name. And one of the advantages in our platoon structure is having that combined arms team. You know, in this game there's 2 light tanks, a medium, a heavy, and an artillery, and we'll get to the introductions as they appear. But, you know, you see a lot of these fail videos where or streams where guys are platooned up and they've got 5 heavy tanks and they get bottom tiered. And, you know, they have really limited tactical options when you're in that scenario. And let's face it, you're going to get bottom tiered. So having all 5 heavy tanks, you know, even when you're top tier, you know, you still only have so much mobility. You know, you're giving up a lot of mobility on your team, you know, to do that. And that mobility here we're going to see pay off for our team, because they're going to get this guy that did the YOLO out of the way. But what they're going to do now is they're going to push up on the castle. And that's Gypsy Boy Brad 16 there, working with Troll Danger. And they're going to come up and get this enemy team spotted, and they're going to stop and they're going to look, and they're going to deny them getting into the key areas up here on this terrain while we're still driving across that big open field. So they're going to stop them, get them in place, keep them out of that key position, and you know, they're gonna slow that movement. They're gonna deny that area. And in the early game, as they're wisely doing, they don't even need to do any damage. If you've got a shot, by all means take it, but don't take a trade and give up that health in this early phase of the game, because all we need them to do is delay this action. So now it seems like those 2 tanks are on this flank, you know, to the enemy. But as soon as their job's done, they're out of here and they're going to go affect another part of the battlefield, so it's to the enemy team going to seem like those 2 tanks are 4. So, here's Mad Dog 19K. Once again, he's riding that T-32, and I tell you what, he's a heck of a T-32 driver. The win rate he's got with this thing is quite a bit higher than the win rate I've got with mine. So, you know, he's an outstanding driver, and I think recently this tank got a buff, if I remember correctly, and maybe he's putting that to good use. But I'm sure he's a talented tank driver in whatever he's in, and I'm sure he's putting up great numbers. So here we are, and you know, they got that YOLO out of the way, but here we are. Our mobility isn't what these light tanks are, and if we were all in tanks that were this speed, that enemy team would already be up and have dominance on this key piece of terrain. So those 2 light tanks, you know, keeping them out of position and not letting that enemy team get fully set, you know, really helped us out. So now that when we show up to do our job, you know, it's going to be a lot easier for us. So Mad Dog's going to push right up into that gap, and he's going to hold this position. He's going to be that distraction, that pressure, and we're going to shoot over his strong heavy tank shoulders and, you know, soften up some of those targets for him while he's got them distracted. It's going to keep their turrets turning, their aiming circles big. It's going to keep their attention distracted, and we're going to be able to focus and bring our aiming circles small and get some of those critical weak spot hits that we need to get. So he's going to keep the pressure on him here as he does. He's outnumbered. He's up there right in their face, but he's got partner tanks, and we're going to be able to start focusing some of these targets. And that's really what this is going to, as the enemy team tries to take the entire piece of terrain, we're able to work in small groups and focus our fire and eliminate these targets more one at a time, rather than having to spread our fire out. So Mad Dog's going to pull around the corner because he can't let that IS-3 just sit there all day. And he's going to get some good shots in here. Because, you know, let's face it, on this team matchup, he's one of the only tanks that we got that is going to have a whole bunch of effect on this guy. But these guys are going to help him out and get some softening up damage in. They're good tankers. They're taking their turn. And Mad Dog's going to put this guy out of the game. So them being able to put their pressure on us didn't work out as well as it did as we put it on them. I guess what I'm trying to say there awkwardly. There's a problem with a chat show. If you chat long enough, you end up not coming off as Mr. Smooth. So, in the meantime, while we're fighting it out for the castle and benefiting from the work that Troll and Gypsy did, they're going to push across the map, and we're going to take a look at how that went. So they found another guy running around the midfield, potentially getting in deep and going after English Brain 90. They must have heard he was back there and decided he was a priority target. And here I am moving up around. Now I'm going to go ahead and move up past Mad Dog here, because while they're looking at him again, I'm going to come around here and work some of their side armor, or work angles on other targets that are trying to shoot over the shoulder at them and eliminate that support mechanism. Now I pull out a lot farther than some people do, but I want to make sure that if I risk pulling all the way out, I'm going to get my shot in. And I'm going to spot everything that's up here, and my whole team's going to know exactly what they've got, and we're not going to get surprised by somebody that's out of place. But now that I've done that and I've risked a little bit of my HP, I'm going to go ahead and get on this little road here and try to work with just my turret over the top. So we've got a light tank that's going, but I just don't get him before he's out of the way. So I'm looking at my targets and deciding who's my priority. I know we've got this Oho down here, but I've got to work these other targets before I move in on him. You know, otherwise they're going to eat my lunch while I'm getting in on those side shots. So we're going to have to work this Tiger P first, and he's not too big of a deal. He got a little track shot on us there. And I know that light tank's going to be coming around behind me, but it's alright because I've got teammates. So we're going to clean up this Tiger P. And I'm going to do my reload on the down, just get an idea of what this Oho's doing down here. And I've got that medium tank moving around. You'll see him starting to move out to this field. I know he's going to deal with that light tank while he's distracted. And he's already got a couple rounds on me, so he's going to be at least on half a clip. And I'm going to have the time to get in here on this guy. But not before I take one. And we're going to get at that side armor. Now he tries to angle and I go orange, but I move back in on him and I manage to take him out. That's due in large part to that softening up damage that Mad Dog and the other tankers were able to do. And we're going to clean up these last light targets. So that flank was won. So meanwhile, Gypsy and Troll Danger have finished their push across the middle. They're now on the other side of the map. And now watch this mini-map. There's going to be like 4 or 5 red enemy dots, showing up there. So there's 4 or 5 enemies, and the 2 of them are just going to run around here like little piranhas and eat people in the river that are slow and wounded and swimming not so great as piranha do. So we'll finish that analogy awkwardly. And Gypsy's going to give us a little show on how we do the old switcheroo. Am I going that way? No, I'm just breaking spot and going this way. Oh, now that I'm spotted, I'm going to go this way, while my partner tank comes in the other way. But are we both going to come that way? No. That wouldn't keep you guessing now, would it? So he pulls the old switcheroo and comes back around again. Now Troll's on light health, so he's going to have to get in there and make some aggressive plays. And here indeed he does. But they're going to go ahead and work him together because they're going to use that speed and mobility. Is he going that way? Are you looking at that guy? Or are you looking at this guy? I think Gypsy's just going to finish him up. But look at that. They've only been over here for a minute, and they've already got this flank well in hand. And once they do, what they've done is they've come back across the map to consolidate with us, because even though it's late game, even though we have the superior numbers, the correct strategy play is to consolidate your team and maximize it. Late game, everybody's on light health, and you don't want to give the opportunity for someone on the enemy team who might have been camping in the back or just a really awesome player and still have their full health pool, be able to use that health pool to take out these softened up targets one at a time. So consolidation is always a great idea late game, especially when you have that mobility still in place. So here he's going to bring up these targets on the spot. He's going to back up because these things are... But wait, who was that? Who could have taken out that other target? He only had him spotted there for 5 or 6 seconds. Could it be? None other than English Bray 90. That's right. EB dropping here in the backfield. And that's a quickie baby reference that we're, pumping English Bray up here. He's a great tanker, so we're going to put him on par with one of the most famous tankers in all of World of Tanks. the QB, Quickie Baby himself, from the PC side of the house. And we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to do another countdown to see just how quick on the draw he's going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds to live. And that's just how he rolls. So anytime that you're out there, and that's that coordinated effort, and that's that combined arms team, being able to apply that firepower effectively on the battlefield. And here we've got Gypsy Boy Brad 16. He's doing the circle on that final target. He's on low health. He's still out in the middle. He's still making those plays. And we're able to put this one in the books. So once again, shout out to all you guys in the Train Clan. We're going to have another guy that was in the original teaser from the Train Clan. It's God's Angels, and he actually ended up in just a random game with me and said, hey, you're in my game. So we teamed up and we got a little footage, so we're going to make sure he gets some screen time too, so be sure to check that out. And that's going to be part of our series on El Haluf and how that meta's been changing, and what positions really need to be filled on that map, because there's a lot of people out there that I think have it too solid in their head that the meta is not a thing that's in flux. That strategy's always changing. So we're going to do a 2-part series on that, and that'll be some of our first videos in the new year, and we'll get that cleaned up. But for now, I just wanted to say Happy Christmas to everybody. We'll take another look here at this Centurion 1, and we'll do a little bit of parting footage. These things, I usually put a little clip like this at the end. So always be sure to stay to the end and watch, and we'll see the... What the heck was that? That is not how you stage dive. There's no crowd to surf here. Do the kids still do that? Huh? Do they stage dive? Do they crowd surf? I don't know, I'm an old guy that plays tanks. So we'll shove this guy off so we can die with our friends. We'll put him on the dead list, do a combat roll, and see Crest out. Look at that. He's still taking damage. I almost killed him after I was dead. Alright everybody, I'm Stalker13R. Thanks for watching.